Good day, welcome to Mayor Kings TV News. I am Matsu Opanitoche and here are the headlines. INEC denies suspending ward delineation in Warri Federal Constituency. Tinubu orders security agencies to apprehend killers of a Rise News anchor. Nigeria withdraws submission from 2026 Oscars race as NOSC declines film submission. Osimhen wins Man of the Match award in Galatasaray's win versus Liverpool. Now the news in detail. The Independent National Electoral Commission has denied claims that it has suspended the proposed delineation of wards in Warri Federal Constituency following a Supreme Court judgment. It was reported that the Commission had altered the delineation process in Warri North, Warri South and Warri South West local government areas. Meanwhile, INEC, in a statement on Monday signed by National Commissioner and Chairman of INEC's Information and Voters Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, described the report as inaccurate and misleading. INEC further urged all stakeholders involved in the matter to remain calm and peaceful while the process continues. However, the umbrella body of Ijaw Youths, the Ijaw National Youth Council (IYC) worldwide, has asked the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to align its actions with judicial directives and provide clear, consistent communication to prevent further confusion and unrest among constituents in Warri Federal Constituency of Delta State. The group noted that the situation emphasizes the importance of accountability in electoral processes and the necessity of adhering to legal frameworks established by higher courts. The national spokesman of IYC, Ambassador Bine Bayerin Penswell, noted in a statement on Tuesday that there is a notable discord between statements issued by INEC officials with reports of delineation exercise in Warri Federal Constituency being both suspended and not suspended. Additionally, Prince Will said, given the tension arising from INEC's inconsistent handling of the redelineation and voter registration process, the IYC advocating for clarity in communication from INEC and adherence to Supreme Court ruling. He argued that until INEC implements its field report regarding the redelineation in Warri Federal Constituency, it lacks the authority to conduct any voters' registration in that area. The Delta State Police Command is set to commence full enforcement of regulations on tinted vehicle glass from Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, in line with extant federal laws and directives. The Commissioner of Police in the state, CP Abaniwanda Olufemi, said in a statement on Tuesday that the statewide operation will be conducted with professionalism, respect for constitutional rights, and zero tolerance for abuse. In the same vein, the CP Olufemi Abaniwanda subsists in ban on unauthorized use of sirens and revolving strobe lights, as well as covering, defacing, or obstructing of plate numbers by private individuals and non-entitled officials. It said while the command continues to enforce general traffic and safety regulations, drivers are reminded to carry their essential vehicle documents, including driver's license, insurance and proof of ownership, and to cooperate constitutionally with officers during lawfully stop and search procedures. The CP urged motorists to ensure that their vehicles' glass metal legal transparency standards, stressing that all unauthorized sirens and flashing lights should be removed without delay. However, Olufemi said that number plates must remain clear, legible, and properly affixed to all times. No bending, flipping, tinting, covering, striker obstruction, or any altercation that renders them unreadable is permitted. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed security and law enforcement agencies to fish out those responsible for killing Ms. Somtochukwu, Sommie Maduagwu, a promising news anchor with a Rise News television, who was murdered during a robbery attack at a Katampe residence in Abuja. In a statement issued on Tuesday by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, the president condemned the crime, describing it as cruel and condemnable. It tasked investigators to conduct a swift and thorough probe to ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice without delay. While commiserating with Maduagwu family, the management and staff of Rise News, and the wider media community, President Bola Tinubu expressed deep sorrow at the loss of a young journalist, whom he described as a promising professional whose life was cut short in a cruel and condemnable manner. Also, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has expressed deep sorrow over the death of Ms. Somtochukwu Maduagwu, a young news anchor with Arise News Television, describing her passing as painful and untimely. However, the Federal Capital City FCT Minister Wilson Wike on Tuesday vowed to unravel the circumstances surrounding the death of Arise News staff Somtochukwu Maduagwu. Wike commiserated management and staff of Arise News Channel over the death of Somtochukwu, describing her death as tragic and painful. In a statement on Tuesday by his Senior Special Assistant SSA on Public Communications and Social Media, Lere Olayinka, the FCT minister who prayed for the repose of soul of Somtochukwu assured that the police will unravel the circumstances surrounding her death and bring those responsible to justice. The crisis between the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pegasen, and the Dangote refinery over the sack of over 800 staff has culminated in scarcity of the premium motor spirit PMS in the Federal Capital City, FCT. The association has cut the gas supply to refineries since Sunday. It was gathered at the petrol market in the FCT on Tuesday to discover that almost all the retail outlets were under lock and key. Speaking on the development, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, National President Alhaji Abubakar Mangadi, said the scarcity was due to the cut of supply from Dangote refinery. According to him, Dangote is the sole supplier of the product and loading is slow at the refinery. He added that private depots have asked petrol price to 980 naira per litre in Lagos. He urged the warring parties to quickly settle their differences for the sake of the economy. Similarly, the National Oil and Gas Suppliers Association of Nigeria, National Public Relations Officer Chief Chinedu Kadike, said the only cause of the scarcity was the Dangote and Pegasen crisis. He further appealed to federal government to quickly resolve the crisis. The Nigerian Official Selection Committee has announced that Nigeria will not be submitting any film for the International Feature Film category at the 2026 Academy Awards. Although 6 films were submitted for consideration, the committee ruled that none met the standards required for global competition. In a statement, NOSC chairperson Stephen Linus cited a lack of creative and technical intentionality in Nigerian films as reason for the decision. She, however, acknowledged the progress made so far and the growing awareness of international standards, while stressing the need for further development in the industry. Meanwhile, the committee plans to take proactive steps to encourage filmmakers to create with Oscars in mind. The NOSC has formally communicated its decision to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, expressing regret that no Nigerian film was deemed suitable for the category this year. Now on the business news. The Nigerian housing market is facing one of its toughest periods in recent history, as the median rent for 2-bedroom apartments in many parts of the country has climbed to about 2.5 million naira annually, according to recent developments. The figure represents a sharp rise compared to what was obtainable a few years ago and highlights the deepening affordability crisis confronting millions of Nigerians. From Lagos to Kano and Ibadan to Port Harcourt, tenants are feeling the squeeze of rapidly escalating rents. While 2.5 million naira serves as a national benchmark, the reality is that rents vary widely across cities and neighborhoods, ranging from as low as 250,000 in some inner parts of Benin City to as high as 20 million naira in Lagos luxury districts, according to data gathered from industry players in those various locations. However, for many Nigerians, a 2-bedroom flat represents a balance between affordability and comfort. Yet, with prices surging, even this once modest option is increasingly out of reach. Now, on the foreign news, YouTube has agreed to pay $24.5 million to settle a lawsuit brought by Donald Trump, filed after the video platform suspended his account in wake of the 6th January attack on US Capitol. The settlement from the video streaming giant's parent company Alphabet, which also owns Google, comes after social media sites X, Twitter, and Facebook also agreed to pay Trump for suspending his accounts. Trump has accused YouTube and other tech companies of political bias claiming that they had unfairly censored conservative voices after the Capitol riots in 2021. At the time of his suspension, social media companies said that Trump risks inciting further violence in Washington, D.C. As part of Monday's settlement, YouTube will pay $22 million to the Trust for the National Mall, a non-profit group that is aiming to raise $200 million to build a new ballroom at the White House. Another $2.5 million will be paid to other organizations and individuals who joined Trump's lawsuits, including the American Conservative Union, as YouTube becomes the latest major platform to settle with the president. In the meantime, social media giants have taken measures to loosen content moderation on their platforms, with Republicans who claim would amount to a violation of free speech. Also last week, YouTube said it is planned to restore several accounts that have been banned for repeatedly making false claims about COVID and 2020 presidential election. Now on the sports news. Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen was named man of the match in Galatasaray's 1-0 home with Liverpool in the second round of matches at the UEFA Champions League on Tuesday. Osimhen was the hero for the Turkish giants after netting the only goal of the game from the penalty spot. Highlighting his goal against the Premier League champions made him the first Nigerian player to score 10 goals in Champions League. It was Galatasaray's first win in the season with UEFA Champions League after losing their open fixture. Osimhen's feat will be a welcome news to the Super Eagles coaching crew ahead of October's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Benin Republic. Now a recap on our headlines. INEC denies suspending ward delineation in Warri Federal Constituency. Tinubu orders security agencies to apprehend killers of a Rise News anchor. Nigeria withdraws from 2026 Oscar race as NOSC denies film submission. Osimhen wins Man of the Match award in Galatasaray's win versus Liverpool. That's the news as detailed by Timiala Emanuela. I am Matu of Bayo Onanuga. Thanks for watching.